Brentford vs Aston Villa preview. Brentford have a nice track record in their final meetings against Aston Villa, struggling solely one defeat from the remaining 11 meetings in quite a number of competitions. This group wants to get returned to winning ways, but they will be faced with a highly stimulated Aston Villa, who are in the pinnacle 3 of the standings. Although Brentford have only lost twice at domestic this season, they are unbeaten in their 2 domestic Premier League conferences towards Villa. However, with some health issues on the home side, Aston Villa see an probability to choose up points even barring the suspended Lucas Dean and Douglas Lewis. Aston Villa enter this in shape in tremendous form, struggling just one defeat from their closing 12 Premier League video games this season. Their high motivation drives them to convey home full points in order to pursue the top function in the Premier League standings. Head-to-head, H2H, Brentford vs Aston Villa. Even though Emery Echegoyen's troops are at the top of the Premier League, Brentford are still superior in their meetings. The Bees have 4 wins, 1 defeat and 6 draws from their 11 meetings. Results of the last 5 meetings between Brentford vs Aston Villa. July 30th 23, Aston Villa vs Brentford 3-3. April 22nd 23, Brentford vs Aston Villa 1-1. October 23rd 22, Aston Villa vs Brentford 4-0. The 2nd of January 22, Brentford vs Aston Villa 2-1. August 28th 21, Aston Villa vs Brentford 1-1. Results of Brentford's last 5 matches. The 11th of December 23, Liverpool vs Brentford 3-0. November 26th 23, Brentford vs Arsenal 0-1. The 12th of February 23, Brentford vs Luton Town 3-1. The 12th of July 23, Brighton and Hove Albion vs Brentford 2-1. The 12th of September 23, Sheffield United vs Brentford 1-0. Results of Aston Villa's last 5 matches. The 12th of January 23, Aston Villa vs Legia Warsaw 2-1. The 12th of March 23, AFC Bournemouth vs Aston Villa 2-2. The 12th of July 23, Aston Villa vs Manchester City 1-0. The 10th of December 23, Aston Villa vs Arsenal 1-0. December 15th 23, Zrinski vs Aston Villa 1-1. Brentford 4-3-3, Mark Flecken, Simon Godot, Ben Mee, Ethan Pinnock, Vitaly Janelt, Frank Onyeka, Christian Norgard, Shandon Baptiste, King Lewis Potter, Jon Wisser, Neil Malpay. Aston Villa 4-4-2, Emiliano Martinez, Ezri Konsa, Diego Carlos, Pau Torres, Alex Marino, Leon Bailey, Yuri Tielemans, Boubacar Kamara, John McGinn, Moussa Diaby, Ollie Watkins. Brentford vs Aston Villa prediction. Brentford's raft of absences appear to be impacting their shape, with the Bees falling to a 4th defeat in 5 remaining timeouts. The G-Tech Community Stadium nonetheless stays a bit of a fortress for the West London side, with Brentford dropping just twice at home in the Premier League this season. Aston Villa head into Sunday's game in the capital unbeaten in 5, winning 4, which includes victories over Manchester City and Arsenal. Villa's structure on the street is nonetheless questionable, having received just 1 of their closing 4 away matches. However, they shall fancy their chances of securing 3 points here. Brentford are unbeaten in their 2 home Premier League conferences with Villa, but the Villains should have enough to down a depleted B side.